You know what
God,
I'm a
that's
slut
so
for?
true.
You know
Tell
what
me.
I'll commit actual war crimes for?
Tell me.
Garlic bread.
Oof.
I'm a
Sometimes,
garlic bread whore.
sometimes for lunch, sometimes I'll just eat like a Skyrim NPC, just like a thing of bread and some cheese, you know? If you
I
put
don't
it
even like
together, that's
cheese,
a
but I get it.
sandwich, and that's not, you can't, that's just a sandwich. You can't do that. You have
Good,
to,
That
good
was like
fresh.
that was girl dinner for me like 2 nights ago.
I just
I'll
felt so old and way too literal. He's like, I ate a Skyrim NPC. I was like, listen, I'm not this old. I don't know how you're doing this. How are you eating video games?
Is this like a kid's term? Is this like a thing on the street? Guys, I ate GTA 5 the other day.
God, I was so
What?
hungry, so I
well, you could
had
say
a
that
couple
you
Yorland
absolutely
Gray
ate,
Mains.
and that is a thing, but that's more gay than youth.
That's more gay than youth is a hot contender for episode title.
We're not even recording yet. Let it be something in context, please.
When you hear the call to adventure into the fantasy fold, you never know what's around the next corner. Grab your dice and roll. So when you have a problem to solve, me and my best friends will answer the call. We'll break into somebody's house, find your enemies and knock them out. Steal a priceless gem or two. We might accidentally hurt you. We're not murder hobos, but you'll be killed and looted. We might be the bad guys, but with what diluted, because we're critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Best friends.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your soon-to-be world-famous Dungeons and Dragons real play comedy podcast, Critically Stupid. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Alexander James, and my favorite part of last week's episode was probably Apollo's very well spun character story, where he, as a character, did not understand that you were supposed to be telling the truth or a lie. He simply thought it was story time. I thought that was a really neat tidbit that you kind of spun there at the end, where you were like, wait, we're supposed to what? It was really good insight into your character, and I liked it a lot. So in honor of that, Apollo, why don't you go next?
Hey y'all, my name's Apollo. I play Julian Armblade, and my favorite episode, my favorite moment from last episode.
Nailed it.
I'm here. I'm awake. I just had a lot of pizza, and all the blood has gone to my stomach for digestion. There's nothing in here, baby.
That's how we like. That's how we like to record these, honestly.
Yeah, quite honestly, that's how I am 90% of it. I'm either hungry or sleepy.
So real.
Not to be self-indulgent, that moment was also my favorite moment, but purely because it was taken fully from my real life when at one of the 3 parties that I have ever attended in my life, because I don't do that shit.
Mhm.
I entered into a game of something like this. It was like a truth or dare type of situation, but it was like 2 truths. It was a 2 truths and a lie.
Classic.
And I just ended up trauma dumping because I did not understand the premise. And I was like, this is just me as a person in the
Nice.
character.
Hell yeah.
Here's 3 really sad truths.
They're like, what's the lie? They're
3
like,
truths and a cry.
someone said, I'm gonna guess that the lie is that you've been stabbed. And I was like, I was supposed to lie?
Damn.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's
going
just
next,
gloss
Apollo?
over the fact that you got stabbed, dude.
Garion.
Hey everybody, I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, and I play Gareth. My favorite part of last episode was probably when Gareth was just like fighting with the Taroka woman, and she's just like this poor lady is like trying to like do a mystical reading. She has to be like, yo, shut the fuck up, dude.
She was also Miss Piggy very briefly.
She
Yeah,
was. She dipped into Miss Piggy.
That's
very
actually my
briefly.
favorite moment. Just
Yes.
the Miss
Oh,
Piggy
actually-
cameo.
I have another favorite moment we could do if I've done too many of myself because I'm a selfish bastard.
I would prefer it be about somebody else. Yes, just
Okay,
to
great.
spread the love a little bit.
Hey everybody, I'm Paul Muad'Dib Atreides and I play Gareth.
You don't have to
my
start
favorite-
over, homie. You could just say your
My favorite. Nope. Cut it wherever you want. You're editing this, bitch. My
Say
favorite,
slur. He has to
Don't-
edit it out.
Don't start a third time.
my favorite part of the last episode, you rat bastard, was probably when that goth girl went up and like told this really like heartfelt story, and she was like being all dramatic, and then Jewel was just like, "Yo, I read that shit, bro. You stole that shit, bro."
That's a poem. That's an elegy. I know that I know
not
the
your
poetic
bar,
structure
dog.
anywhere.
It's not your bar.
You stole that from Kendrick? I don't know.
It was probably Kendrick.
Anthony,
Nope.
what?
You are missing something, Garion.
Fuck. Also, I am joined by my lovely kitten companion, Constance, who has a magic book of hats and canonically looks like whatever you think the cutest kind of cat is. Anthony, please make it not my turn anymore.
Thank you. I'm Anthony. I play Arnold the Bard. My favorite part of last episode was, I mean, generally just the whole story game was a lot of fun, and I didn't expect to do something. I like when we have episodes like that. I really like what's that guy's name? The main guy who was telling the stories with us.
Stanimir.
Guy.
Yeah, Stanimir. I like that guy. I like his voice and his character in general. But I was going to say the Miss Piggy thing initially. I was there. Well, because when it first happened, I was like, "This is our Muppisode. It's happening."
Muppisode, we should fight.
You have to stop invoking the Muppisode like that, Anthony. You can't just like, I
Is
know
that
what you're
tonight?
doing. It's not tonight, but every
Can it
time
be?
Anthony says the word Muppisode, it creeps just a little bit closer, like a guillotine.
The reality. Just but Diana.
Hi, my name is Dianna. I play Mel. I also have the Wolf Pup Joshua Patrick Josh Pat JPZ. I'm horrified by the episode. Notably, I did not Notably, I did not retweet that because I did not want to have to participate in the episode because I don't even know what character. I'm just gonna do Beaker so I can squeak the whole time and I don't
You
have
can
to
be
think
the
about
one
it. Anyway,
human.
well, there is that.
There's always one
Just be
human.
like-
That's
up in me.
funny.
Right.
That's
Um,
perfect.
My favorite part of last episode, fuck, as usual, I don't really remember anything, but I will say, we all know I'm one big self-insert. I've never been more glad to be one big self-insert is when Mel was like, I'm not going to tell a story, and Diana was like, oh, thank God.
Badass.
Mel was like, I don't want to play the trauma games.
Well, right, mine also would have been 2 truths and a cry.
You rock up to a game about improvising. You're like, I categorically refuse to improvise a monologue. I don't want to do that. I
100%.
respect it.
Okay, we are going to step into part of your world, which is how we open every episode. That's where you guys get a chance to tell me something that's true about the world because I spend all of my time telling you what's true about it. So this time we're going to build, please and thank you, a child's fantasy heroic alter ego. I had this idea in the vein of like how some kids will create like a superhero alter ego.
Oh, like Stupendous Man in Calvin and Hobbes.
Right, or something like that. So I want to build one of those together, but fantasy style, so not like Deadpool. So first question's a big one, and that's going to go to my man Garion, which is, what is their heroic ability or power?
Their heroic ability or power, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think their heroic ability or power is the ability to create a solid platform under wherever their foot is, so they could like walk upstairs in midair.
Damn. Okay, that's cool as hell. All right, Apollo, what is this alter ego's costume or wardrobe? How are they different from their host or guardian?
Oh God. Okay. This alter ego is okay. Well, it's just existing in the child's imagination. They picture them as like a knight whose suit of armor can sort of slide off to then magically create the platforms. But it's like invisible armor, so nobody can tell that he's wearing armor because the kid says that he is actually the hero and he is always wearing the armor.
All right. Okay. I like the combo there. That's quite cool. Okay. So the armor slides off to create these invisible. Now, Garion, is it just platforms or is it any sort of like hard surface? Like, is it just for like stepping up and getting away, or can
It's
it
any
be
sort of
walls?
hard surface. You could use it to block if necessary.
Okay.
Mid-season
Anthony,
power up.
tell me how this heroic alter ego came to exist. How do they come into being?
Okay. So, do we know about this kid? Like anything about the kid age-wise?
I think you could safely say like young, like sub 10.
Just young kid. Okay. I'm going to say when he was very young, he was walking with his parents, and they went to I don't remember when Fantasy World. They're walking on a bridge, and he had one of his favorite stuffed animals, and it fell and it dropped, down off of the bridge, and he went to get it, and his father just grabbed him and caught him immediately and said like you can't I'll get you a new one. He's like I there is no replacing Flitterkins. I can't get Flitterkins. He said there's no replacing Flitterkins.
That's how you make a name right there. You just say something.
So anyway, he's like traumatized by this, and he's just like, no, but if you would fall, you would die. He's like, but if only I could have jumped after him and found my way down there in some to save him, and like you don't know that I would have died. So then from then he vowed to not let anyone suffer the same fate again. And then of course I have to ask you this question, because this is when you asked me this, I was like, does he actually have this power as an imaginary thing? Are we creating a real superhero or like an idea of a thing, like Calvin Hobbes-esque?
I honestly, God, I don't know.
I feel like we're gonna find out.
Okay, yeah. You know what though? You know what? Since we're in the D&D world, we do have sorcery. I forget about that. We have wild magic. People could have powers that they don't realize. I'm gonna retcon what I said about the father catching him and say that the father fails and the son falls down the bridge toward Flitterkins. And as he falls down the bridge toward Flitterkins, he finds himself feeling gravity beneath his feet as he's creating platforms, running quickly.
God damn it, that's rad as hell.
That's
and
so
then
cool.
Finds himself catching Flitterkins right before he lands on the ground, just kind of standing on two platforms.
He does a superhero landing on nothing.
Exactly, on invisible platforms while he catches Flitterkins, realizing that he has a wild magic sorcery that he's never tapped into or had no knowledge of.
Okay. I like that.
Someone get me the Mappa Animation Studio execs. We have a show to pitch.
I can actually see it, like this kid's falling in this like waterfall sort of like misty air, but then he finds himself like bouncing off of these like invisible surfaces. You can see like the mist dropping off it, and then suddenly he feels them under his feet, and then superhero lands on the last one to catch this stuffed animal.
Yes. And then cut to the episode 1 outro. I can see it.
Yep. Okay, bestie. What does the superhero or excuse me, heroic alter ego protect their kid from now? Right? We know how they came about, which was
I thought you were going to ask me to fucking name the thing.
I would never, and I think historically have never asked you to name anything once.
Yeah. What was the question? I'm sorry.
I like that you were so busy being indignant you didn't listen.
Real.
Most
I could
of
also
my
see her for the
participation
past,
in this podcast.
3 minutes trying to come up with a name because that's
No, I was there. I mean, they're empty up here. Mashed potato brain.
This heroic alter ego came to be by saving Mr. Flitterkins from falling off of a waterfall. But what does this heroic alter ego protect their host from now? Like, what is their continued purpose? Falling. Okay.
That's actually pretty good.
Seems like falling makes the most sense.
Like that a lot. Okay, we are going
also,
to open.
I just want to say that would be my where I would like finally be ready to end it all, and I'd jump off the fucking bridge, and then I'd find out that I have this secret power where I make ground happen under me. That
real
talk. If I had superpowers, I think I would no longer be depressed, though.
Depends on the superpower.
It's insane how many of my problems would be solved by superpowers.
Superpowers fix me.
That
Not
depends
even-
on the
I spent-
superpower. It could suck.
Dude, no, here's the thing. I spend a lot of time about thinking about how I would use some powers just to like not starve. Like if I could teleport, I would
Mm.
Oh,
I would go to the grocery store and teleport outside without paying for food. Or
So
like
stealing. So you would use your superpower.
Oh,
for
I
stealing.
would steal.
Yeah, correct.
so
Or I would
much
like
Hang on,
stuff.
teleport inside of a hotel room.
We're gonna get this group specifically will get derailed by superpower talk so fast. Apollo, if you're about to talk about superhero stuff, I'm gonna respectfully ask you to put that hand down because we are actually playing Dungeons and Dragons and we need to carry on with an
Yeah,
actual.
we have to
narrative.
keep it serious, guys.
Yeah,
No
that's fair. I had a thought out one from like last time I spoke to my other friends about this.
Okay.
Your other friends, rude.
Wait
How
a
dare you.
minute. You're allowed to have other friends?
We are gonna
They're the
open
Irish friends.
on you four bing bongs. We are going to cut exactly into the moment we left you, which is this young man that you have met tonight, Arturi, simply stating, "I am a werewolf." So
I buy that. My turn. No.
And then he holds up 10 fingers.
What?
I say
what's up with the finger?
that's true. That's true. It's a true story.
Yeah, I definitely buy that. But what's up with the fingers? Is that what you're offering?
No, these are the amount of questions you have left. 9.
Fair enough. Is it what's the other guy's name? Stilgar?
Stanimir.
Big guy. Stanley? Okay.
Stanley.
Stanley, how are we verifying if these stories are true or not?
Stanimir looks distinctly on edge all of a sudden. The fingers holding this sort of like frosted glass bottle with this mysterious ethanol smelling liquid inside have suddenly tightened, and a little bit of the jolly smile on his thin lips has sort of slid off his face, and he's like, I am assuming that he is going to shed his human form and attempt to slaughter all of us.
That's not at all what I asked, actually. I'm
sorry,
talking
what did
about
you
the
ask?
game we were playing.
I was
How are
busy
we
being
verifying
indignant.
the truth?
Well, we sort of have to take him on his word. Vis-a-vis turning into a werewolf and slaughtering all of us. Again, sorry,
What about
I was
earlier?
being-
What about your story earlier when you were definitely lying and I guessed that correctly and you just said that I was wrong? Just hypothetically. Trying to figure out the rules of the game, trying to figure out if that werewolf over there is lying. What's that?
It seems like a weird time to accuse me of lying. This man just announced that he was a werewolf. There are women and children here, and also men who cannot defend themselves, but we don't talk about them as much.
You seem afraid.
Yes. Yes. Hello, it is me, Stanimir. I am afraid of werewolves. I think that is a relatively normal thing.
Arturi, if I may.
There's a very real chance that Garath doesn't know what a werewolf is.
I'm learning that right now. Yes. Apollo.
We had one in the shop. You have to know.
Oh no, that's true. Actually, you're right.
I would like to use two of the questions that you're offering.
Please.
Per the rules of the games, can I cast magic on you?
I am thinking that would be slightly cheating, no? If you suddenly had a way to divine what I meant, that is not abiding by the spirit of the game. I cannot stop you unless I turn into a werewolf and shed your bones from your flesh.
Okay, that's fair.
8.
Can I poke you?
Yes, but if you poke me in my belly, I will giggle.
Julian, I have a
7.
question for you before you poke the potential werewolf.
Mhm.
Sidebar.
Do they have any particular weaknesses? Anything that we could use to test, like a witch and water or something?
Silver, usually.
Ha! Lucky for you. He just jingles one of his many pockets.
Oh,
Cargo
I
robes.
don't actually want to help him just yet. I don't actually want to hurt him, just in case, he's here, he's being cordial. He might be a good werewolf. You can't really just go around judging all werewolves. I was just going to get a normal non-silver knife, poke him, and if he is a werewolf, it shouldn't hurt him.
Yeah, well, I mean, that makes a lot more sense. I was just going to kind of throw a bunch of nickels at him and see if they steamed.
Canonically,
Well,
also
placing-
the only way that Gareth knows how to kill a werewolf because it's the only way he killed the last one.
Well, no, that actually makes sense. If you just place a silver coin in his hand, it
Yeah.
might just burn him.
It's kind of
Yeah.
what I was thinking, but I don't know. You know more about monsters than I do.
No, I think
You know
me
about
walking
more
up
about
with,
most things than I do.
walking up with a coin sends a more calmer message than walking up with a knife, even if you know that the knife might not hurt.
All right, here we go. Buy yourself something nice. Ping, flicks it over.
I fumble it.
You have to pick it up off the shit, God damn it.
Anthony.
Wait, I have an idea. As Arnold says, wait, I have an idea. Why don't we take a non-silver coin and a silver coin and ask him to close his eyes, and he'll put out his hands, and we can see if he responds, because he could always fake. If we put a silver coin in his hand, he could easily just go, no, my hand.
Okay,
Or,
two
whatever.
hands
It's how
out.
werewolves. You know how werewolves sound.
Arnold,
Two
I
hands
don't
out,
mean
one
to
in
be
each.
rude, but this is the best thing you've ever come up with.
I'm
Okay.
nailing it.
Yeah, I'll take the coin that Gareth. Yeah,
Yep.
That's me.
I need y'all to pick character names that don't start with the same letter as your actual names, because it's starting to get to me.
Dianna and Mel is very easy to remember.
Diana, you're perfect.
Now, Garion
Never
and Anthony
change.
have no excuse.
Listen.
My character name is a very clever reference to some niche-ass book that nobody's gonna get. So it's a
That's
waste
so
of
real.
fucking time.
Anyway, I'll take the coin that was given to me, and then I'll just take out like a regular gold coin.
Okay.
From my own pocket, and I'll just tell Arturi, please put your hands out, palm upwards, and close your eyes.
Okay, he does so.
I'm gonna place one in each. I'm gonna put the silver coin in his right hand.
Okay. Both of his hands are bare. Apollo, give me a quick insight or perception check. I'll let you choose which one.
Can I? I'm also watching
Yeah.
for reaction. Can I also roll for this?
Yes, but the two of you will roll perception only.
Right. I'm gonna go for insight, so we have a good spread, and also I'm way better at it.
Smart. Let me see here.
Mel, I haven't forgotten about you. We're going to flip back over to you in just a second, unless you want to step into the scene.
Well, I had a question.
Please.
Would something like
hot damn.
primeval awareness reveal a werewolf?
That is a great question. I think yes, but let me Google it really quick.
Gareth
21.
Gareth got a 23 for perception.
21 insight.
I got a 22.
Jesus,
damn.
oh God.
Get fucked, maybe.
Gareth is playing for material gains here. He's not fucking around.
No, Bessie, it wouldn't, because the number of things identified by primeval awareness is very limited to aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. And a werewolf is none of those things.
Wow.
I don't know what 95% of those things are.
The fact that I
I
do makes
do.
me question some stuff.
Okay.
I do too, but I'm just like this.
All right. Perception
late.
checks. Gareth, with your keen rogue's eye, I think the first thing you look at is this dude's hands, right? Because you can glean a lot of information from small details, particularly about how one uses their hands. Yours, very light-fingered, nimble, dexterous. The bard's calloused, still quick, but much more used to like wielding instruments. And then you do notice that Julian's are ink stained and have several like quill feathers kind of stuck to the pieces of them. Arturi's hands are very soft looking. I don't think you can even find a single work callus or bit of blister or toughened skin. However, this person makes their living, it's not by wielding a sword or a weapon, or, he definitely isn't a farmer. Arnold, your perception, you learn, you can see this about his hands as well, pretty soft. He definitely doesn't play any instruments. There's no telltale fingertip calluses from strumming lute strings or harp strings. I think you also see like a hint of a tattoo on his like elbow, just before where his like rolled up shirt sleeve starts to cover. It is in black and white and appears to be in the shape of an animal, but you can't quite tell what. Julian,
Can I?
I was gonna ask, like, as far as recognizing it as an animal, can I at least see, like, not necessarily what animal it is, but like what type of animal? Can I see like paws as opposed to like a tail, or like a snake tail or something?
Yeah, you can see paws. I'll give you paws.
Okay.
I wanted to also look for something a little bit more specific. If I'm looking at this guy's hands, Can I see the hand with the silver coin? Does it clench involuntarily, or is there any sort of twitch when the silver is placed there?
No, he holds both of his hands rock steady.
Okay.
Julian, with your insight check, if Arturi is worried or alarmed or has an elevated heart rate in any capacity, you could not for the life of you tell. This dude looks like he is bored as hell. When he extends both of his hands, the telltale pulse dancing in his inner wrist is very steady. His hands don't clench or jerk as you drop these coins into them. And he is breathing lightly, and his eyes are closed very lightly.
So either he's lying or he is just extremely zen moments before eating people. Love that for me, quite honestly.
You drop both of these coins into his hands, and nothing happens.
I'm going to take them back. I'm taking my money back.
He says, are you sure that I cannot keep this
Our.
gold one? I think it is quite pretty. Where is it from? I do not recognize the mint. Is this?
Were your eyes open during that? How'd you know it was gold?
Oh, no, I am
What?
opening them now, just as you were going to take
Oh,
the coins.
okay.
But this is
Well,
not
I feel foolish.
this is not a Barovian coin. Where did you say you were from? I just met you on the road, but I am politely curious.
I have
Julian will just look at the others and just say, someone talk before I just tell the truth again.
I have an innumerable amount of currencies from an innumerable amount of countries. Lord knows how they came into my possession, and it is certainly none of your business.
I hate
This is
I
from-
hate to waste the question, but Arnold would probably be like, "Do you work for the IRS?"
Are you an accountant?
He's like, you're after us, aren't you, you son of a bitch?
You know what is crazy is I actually do work for a tax auditing company. I do not know this IRS that you speak of, but I am professionally. I used to be a taxman before.
Believe it or not,
the
this
accident.
scares Gareth way more than a potential werewolf.
Okay, so he hands the coins back to you, and really quick, I want to toss over to Mel. Mel, Irina Kolyanovich, and you are whispering now. To refresh your memory, you know that Irina Kolyanovich was the person who overheard your reading with Madame Ava in our last episode. So she was dropping ease, and then Josh Pat was like sniffling around her foot, and she something thunked Josh Pat in the tent. That was last episode. But Irina is currently in the process of doing a pretty bad job of convincing you that she wasn't.
I buy it.
And she says, perhaps we could take this conversation somewhere a little more private. I'm unfamiliar with this encampment, and I don't really trust any of the strangers, but there are some things that I would love to share with you, my dear guardian and boon companion.
That sounds awfully familiar to some other piece of shit we used to know.
Sound awfully familiar to some other piece of shit we used to know.
Isn't that a song?
Some piece of shit that I used
The
to
Fallout.
know.
What? So she doesn't know. Where would we even go?
Well,
Like, how far away are we talking here?
This simply to the other side of the encampment. So this is sort of there's many jovialities happening over here. There's music and dancing, and this I would appears to be a less fun by the minute game that these fine folk are playing. But perhaps we could go someplace just on the other side of the central tent, and we could sort of chat about it. Here's the thing, Apollo, is like, I love your asides, but you got to say them out loud, because now the audio only, actually everybody doesn't know what is happening.
That's just for
now.
us. Just a
That's
little
just for
treat.
us. All right, well.
I was
listen.
just surprised. I just said, hi, audience. I feel like I'm being pulled into the fucking principal's office. Like, is there something you'd like to share with the class?
You don't have to share it with the class. I will share for you. Everybody, Apollo loves a confident feminine figure, which I think is
With a sword.
I
It's
think
important.
that's a human-wide thing. I think we can all get on with.
Yeah, quote, when a hot woman with a sword tells me what to do, I sit my ass down and listen. It was going to be I sit my black ass down, but I thought that just ass would have more universal appeal.
Yeah,
for
make it more
this
inclusive.
group.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that would have the same effect on Mel.
Okay.
But I guess that she'd be willing to step a little bit away. She doesn't
Okay.
feel particularly threatened by what's her fuck. She's a little pissed that she kicked her dog.
So Irina leads you, let's call it like 20 feet away by a couple of
Also, if there is a werewolf, at least I'm like over here.
true. Irina
the
leads
spirit.
you about 20 feet away. There's a couple of other wagons that are parked. I mean, there are a bunch of wagons parked in like a big circle around the central tent, but away from the party and the festivities. But you do notice, Mel, that I described last episode. There were a group of kids singing like a kid's song, and you could sort of catch snatches of it floating over the encampment. You can actually see there's like a group of kids playing a game, like across on the other side of the encampment, similarly away from this bonfire and these like festivities, but they're sort of like dancing. But Irina says, I'm terribly sorry that you caught me snooping. I don't like to drop eaves. And what's more, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm simply a terrible liar. I just don't have the stomach for it. It hurts my tummy to tell lies. That's what my father said. And so I'm sorry that I am sorry that I misled you.
It hurts my tummy to listen to this woman talk.
I really am picturing Mel just muttering that quietly to herself right in front of her.
Yeah. Let's just skip the tummy IBS thing you've got going on, and why don't you just tell me what you were listening for?
I was trying to overhear to see if Madame Ava said anything about the devil pursuing me. Perhaps I figured into your fortune, or she could give some hint of his plans. Obviously, everybody knows that Madame Ava and the dark demon Strahd are connected in some mystical capacity.
Does everybody know that?
Oh yeah, that's the thing that everybody knows, but let's pretend that, like, just for kicks, that everybody didn't know. What would you tell somebody that didn't know any of
Some
that?
poor unfortunate soul who doesn't know that
Just
common
doesn't
knowledge.
know.
Dianna, I would love for you to roll me a deception check, please.
Against the DM?
Yeah. No, against this person, because like, well, unless Mel is playing it as in like, are you playing it like genuinely, like, hey, I don't know, can you explain it? Or are you trying to be like a little bit subterfugian about it?
I think it was pretty much just that tone I just did.
Yeah, I thought it was like sarcasm. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
All right, that's fine. Then you have to roll it.
Give me a sarcasm check.
I mean, that's a nat 20 all day.
Roll for sarcasm.
Roll for sarcasm. Okay, she
I don't have
says,
to roll for that.
well, I mean, the Vistani have had a mysterious connection to the valley, and the dark mists pervading it for millennia. But everyone knows that Madame Ava, as one of the most mystical leaders of the Vistani, she has lived several lives worth of fortune telling. Well, I hesitate to say witchcraft, but how else do you explain somebody living 200-300 years? But she has a connection to Strahd. I'm not quite sure what it is, but my father used to speak of it. He very suspicious of the Vistani, naturally, being a grumpy old sort of boomer Republican, but I don't think there's anything that warrants that. Frankly, they seem like very lovely folk and very friendly every time I encounter them. And that one time I got lost in the woods, that Vistani was the one who found me, and so I have a sort of trust for
And
them.
I have so many Vistani friends.
Damn.
Sorry.
Woo!
I thought it was the kind of the way you were talking about.
Sure, yeah, it's my fault. Anyway,
I just don't agree with their lifestyle. That's the energy you're giving, bestie. King, lock in.
my apologies. Anyway,
I'm joking.
everyone knows that Madame Ava has a sort of different connection to the dark evil that pervades this valley, and I was hoping that she could give me some sort of clue as to why he's pursuing me. I know that he's knocked on my door thrice. He's attacked my village. He's laid siege to my people and killed my friends and my father. And I was just hoping for for you, Miss, you didn't even want to accompany me to Wallachia in the first place. You would clearly set me off on my way with nary a second thought, and that's fine. But I want to know what happens after I get to Wallachia. Am I suddenly supposed to be safe? Is there somebody there that can help me? Do you even give a shit? Why am I talking to you about this?
Why? Because I'm the one that caught you. I don't really give a shit. Why didn't you just get a reading if you wanted to know all of this?
Real.
I was impatient. I'm sorry. I am not a perfect person.
Because the conversation between two NPCs is really boring.
Also, yes. I had a feeling that the sort of immortal deity that controls me like a hand inside a puppet didn't want to talk to the other hand for a solid 10 seconds.
I don't think any of these hands believe that for a second. You love talking to yourself.
How dare you?
That's a terrible reason why. So you just above table because I remember nothing. She commented specifically about some card that we'd drawn.
Yes, the Wizard of Stars, the first card.
What did she say about it?
She just mentioned that it was pulled. It was her. She's a horrible, horrible liar.
Just her being a bad liar. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Is she telling the truth now?
Give me an insight check. Aha, I can make you roll a dice. Yes. I was going to make you roll one earlier, but Garion lawyered me about it.
Yeah, you know me.
17.
17? She seems to be playing it fairly straight. You caught her in a lie earlier and she was laughably clumsy about it. And she doesn't have any sort of that stuttering or putting her foot in her mouth mentality right now.
And you don't know anything else about Madame Ava's connection to Strahd, only that it's different.
Only that it's not what it appears to be, which is more than nothing.
Have you considered just asking Madame Ava rather than getting a fortune told, since she seems to know Strahd on some level, just asking her why?
Now that you suggested, I think that is my only course of action, and I will, of course, do that entirely off camera. Thank you so much. And she walks away from you. She walks into the tent, and the tent closes behind her. And as far as you're concerned, it is an impenetrable wall. The conversation that they will have later, they will have later.
I want to hear.
Can I not drop Eves?
Yeah, we should drop Eves on this bit. No.
Roll me a perception check, Dianna. If you want to drop Eves, this is a fantasy game. You can do whatever you want, including ruin my afternoon.
This is gonna ruin your everything. That's a 19.
Dude, serious Eves are being dropped right now.
Yeah, so many Eves.
You walk over to the tent, and we'll cut.
I am way more stealthy than her too.
Yeah, actually, it's like that Scooby-Doo thing where you put your whole body on your tiptoes and then right over the tent wall.
JP does it too, actually.
Yeah, actually, it's super cute. We'll cut back to you in a second. Let's go to the gang playing the game with Arturi. Julian, you have just taken back the coins. You have 6 questions remaining, I believe. Was it 6 or 7? I feel like it was 6.
It was 7.
Let's call it 7.
Let's call it 7.
Okay, so we can ask other people questions and he doesn't put his finger down. I know because I asked that big man something and he kept it at 9. So question for you, Julian, real quick summary. What is a werewolf?
The idea that you would go to Julian and not Arnold about this is fucking bonkers to me.
Julian is in Gareth's mind. Julian is just the smartest guy he knows.
All right. Fair.
I know we were attacked by one back in the bar. But it was a lot going on at the moment. I didn't exactly pull out the encyclopedia, mostly because I couldn't read it.
So I feel like as everyone's standing there, Arnold would just ask this man a question because he'd be curious as heck to talk to a monster, and he would just say, "How did you become a werewolf?"
7. I laid a trap for Dr. Rudolf von Richtingen, and it went horribly, horribly awry. And an actual werewolf bit me. 6.
What do you mean when you say an actual werewolf?
Thank you.
Counting is hard, okay? Leave me alone. I'm doing.
You even looked at your hands and you were like 7.
Yeah, you were.
The episode.
Diana, why don't you go fuck yourself? All right. Garion, what'd you say?
What do you mean when you say an actual werewolf, implying that you are not one?
Back then, I mean, I was human. When I was setting this trap for Dr. Rudolf von Richten, and a werewolf showed up, I assumed that the famed monster hunter would come to my savior, to be my savior, come to my salvation, come to save me. But he did none of those things, and instead he let me get bit by a werewolf, which is super mad chill of him, and one of the many, many, many reasons I wish to bathe in his blood someday. 5.
Hi, Alex. It's me, Apollo.
Hello.
I would like to ask the DM a question.
That's
I
gonna be
would
a
like
heck
to
in DC.
I would like to try catch this man out potentially on a lie.
Okay.
I'm assuming that we're working with werewolf rules of like they can shift whenever they want to, but on the full moon it's involuntary.
Okay.
State your standard stuff. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So I would like to have Julian do the mental math on when the last, judging on whatever phase the moon is now, when the last full moon would have been. And then I want to ask him, when was the last time you shifted involuntarily?
Okay. I will say that the glimpses you've gotten of the moon have been few and far between.
Perfect.
Because
Paint that
it
for
is
me.
perpetually cloudy and overcast in Barovia. However, I did
Just like
describe
me.
it in detail the first night you guys arrived at the valley. So go ahead and give me a nature check with a pretty average DC to pull that sort of picture back from your memory and do the mental math
Okay.
from that, and then count forwards.
Oh, that's a lovely 26.
God damn. Okay.
Hot damn.
Yes, you are either 3 days post full moon, give or take about a day, or like 20 days until a full moon, give or take a day. I don't know. Hey, guys, real talk. This is above table. I, the DM, don't know how lunar cycles work. I never went to that class where you talked about waning and waxing in gibbous versus scythe. So, like,
science.
The science class.
I didn't go to the moon classes, so like I don't know. You're confident. All right, let's say this. You're confidently 3 days post full moon.
You're not out here fighting astrology bisexuals, and it shows.
I don't have to fight them.
I will. I hate
Everybody-
astrology.
Everybody is welcome at my table.
Except for astrology, but you can be bisexual. It's the astrology part that pisses me off.
Nice. Way to set your boundaries.
Good to know I'm welcome, I guess.
All right.
Well, that depends. How much do you fuck with astrology?
The best part about astrology is that because I was abandoned at birth, we will never know my full birth chart, and I use that to annoy astrology people constantly.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to. I'm going to.
That was like 2 truths and a cry.
It's a different game here, Julian.
Yeah, I just learned 2 things about Apollo in rapid succession.
Yeah. I'm going to look at our jury and ask, if you are a werewolf, then the full moon will cause you to change involuntarily. When was the last time you shifted involuntarily?
To be completely honest, I have trouble remembering. I have a hard time remembering things. As a normal person, my memory is not very good, and I also have a nasty habit of drinking myself to sleep. So sort of gaps in the memory there, but I believe it was about 3 or 4 days ago.
Okay.
I believe you're full of shit.
I'm inclined to believe him.
4.
So
Do you
4
have a
days.
spell that would reveal a werewolf?
Sorry.
I have a spell that would reveal similar to your I have Detect Evil and Good, so unless some bending of the rules would be allowed, Detect Evil and Good specifies aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. So
It's the same list that your primeval awareness.
What's a fiend?
Fiends are devils and demons,
It's like a
or just like a really nasty person.
yeah.
Away, you fiend! Like,
Away with you.
Or somebody who really, really keeps just asking for your fucking views over and over again.
Stanimir leans over to Arnold and says, I have a question that I believe might be pertinent, but I do not want to waste one of our 5 questions. Is it okay if I ask you in private, and then maybe perhaps you and I can sort of blue sky it if it is worth
absolutely.
one of our
Yes, 100%. I've like 17 questions that I've been holding, trying to not just ruin this for everyone. So yeah, let's do this.
What the actual hell does he plan to do when he hits 0?
You son of a bitch. That was all right.
that's a good question. I thought we were just
Hey,
having fun.
you sneaky rogue man, if you would like to get over here and sort of blue sky with us, there is plenty of sky where we are standing.
I am working with plans within plans within plans going on in here, okay? All right.
So, okay. So I'm assuming this isn't just part of the truth or lie game anymore, and he's not just gonna like win something. He doesn't get my paintbrush.
No. I think threatening to explode into a malicious, bloodthirsty creature in the middle of an encampment full of women and children does not exactly abide by the spirit of, no, that's not the true story you are telling.
Let's see.
Is it against the rules to just kill him before he turns into a wolf? I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just asking if it's an option.
I like to think that you 3 are like maybe you 4 if Julie wants to be there,
Yeah,
like in a
just like
little
a
huddle.
Wait.
We're like not being quiet.
Julian joined the huddle. Julian just kind of ducked under someone's arm and said, "Hey guys, what are we talking about?"
As far as D&D is concerned, do werewolves have heightened sense of hearing?
Probably.
Because it would be pretty funny.
Do they need a heightened sense? Like, how loud are y'all?
Yeah.
Gareth just like isn't whispering. Okay, guys, what if?
It's like, I love that trope in movies where it's like a bunch of people in a huddle whispering, and then one of them goes, and then like ducks back into the huddle. Okay. Let's say you're being relatively quiet. Arnold, you have no way of knowing if a werewolf has a heightened sense of ability of hearing because you met one for the first time last week.
Okay. That's
Mel. Spinning over to you ever so briefly, you hear "God help me, Jesus," a conversation between 2 NPCs that I will print out and give to you transcript style. Madam Ava, what can I do for you, child? Irina Kolyanovich, I'm here for a reading. Madam Ava, I don't give 2 readings in a night. Irina Kolyanovich, that's mad unfortunate. I sure would like one because I want to know what Strahd is doing pursuing me. Madam Ava, that sucks because I can only do 1 reading a night. Irina Kolyanovich, are you sure? I have a lot of money. Madam Ava, yes, I'm sure. 1 reading a night. How many times do I have to tell you? Irina Kolyanovich, it is a lot of money though. Madam Ava, get out of my tent.
That was enjoyable for everybody involved.
It was, but Mel's curious why she posted as asking for a reading instead of just asking a fucking question. And she hates her a little more now.
Shocking. The
Like,
hair trigger that exists between Mel hating somebody and hating them more continues to not surprise me. You look down at your feet, Dianna, and notice that Josh Pat is not there.
If you look like the dog, I'll kill you.
I have to pee real bad.
And that's a perfect segue into a pee break. Let's take one real quick, and we will be right back with more D&D and maybe Josh Patrick. Welcome everybody to your sponsored post of this episode, which is of course by Libris Arcana, makers of fine dice and D&D accessories. Now, I think Apollo, you were the most recent one of us to receive dice, which is very exciting because as far as shipping costs are concerned, you live on the moon.
Hello, yes, I was the most recent recipient of the Libris Arcana Dice for Life monthly thing, and let me tell you, it was so funny because months ago, Alex asked me for my full legal name and address. I provided it, no questions asked.
It's true.
Don't do that.
Not one question.
Don't do that. Then, months later, I received a letter in the mail about an item being stopped at customs, and I needed to pay like €6 for it to be, to clear customs.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and my family looking at this being like, have you ordered anything? I said, no, I just finished up my recent cosplay build. I don't have money to be buying things. And then they were like, it's it's probably like a spam or it's probably a scam. I said, I paid it. And then a couple of weeks later, dice, and I was so happy.
Nice.
I love the train of logic there. Oh, it's probably spam or like a scam or something. I'll pay it.
I'll pay it. Why not?
It was on
What
the
did-
official website, so I was like,
Okay,
may as well.
What did you get
See
for
what
Libris
happens.
Arcana?
So I got 3 full sets of dice. 2 I still keep in the bags for a special occasion. They both have these lovely green and dark purplish themes, almost as if like an enchanted magical forest.
Wow.
Fuck, don't
Hell
drop
yeah.
that shit. A couple extra dice that look as if they were taken straight out of Wild Space, and then this beautiful set. Come on, camera. Come on, focus automatic.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, I have
This
that one.
beautiful ice cold white and blue set, which I have made my primary Julian set for this campaign, which
Awesome.
for this session have not rolled lower than a 15.
If you want a set of beautiful Libris Arcana dice that will also not roll lower than a 15 canonically, Anthony, where can our lovely audience go to get a set of dice like that?
They can go to LibrisArcana.com where they can find all sorts of dice, both metal and resin dice, so custom dice. Also leather-bound books and covers and all sorts of fun stuff there. At
And then-
LibrisArcana.com.
At LibrisArcana.com, using our exclusive discount code STUPID20 for checkout. Garion, if I wanted to cancel like a subscription that I signed up for, just if I wanted one set of dice and then wanted to cancel that subscription, do I have to talk to a human being? Like, do I got to call some marketing department?
Absolutely not. That's a terrible business model. In today's day and age, people hate talking to other people.
That's not even
Yeah.
a joke.
Damn it,
That's
so
a
do
cold-
I.
Yeah, that's a cold fact. LibrisArcana.com with our exclusive discount code STUPID20. Libris Arcana, dice roll.
Stay focused.
Go.
Personally, my 2 cents, I think this guy is definitely a werewolf.
Real.
Both from the perspective of why else would he fucking say that, and also just like it'd be pretty boring story perspective if he wasn't. Just from
Be
like a
real
Chekhov's
funny if he
gun
wasn't,
writing
though.
standpoint.
It's
Okay.
so funny if he wasn't, though. At best, he spent like this entire episode on playing 20 questions.
And
with
he's just like a
someone who,
normal
like, at the
guy.
end of it, he's like, "Oh yeah, that was a lie. Give me your paintbrush and
God,
your."
that'd be awesome, actually.
Okay, let's dive back into it. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you have peed. I hope you've got a fresh beverage. I hope that wherever the life circumstances finds you while you're listening to this episode are relatively decent and you're not being tortured by one of the overlords of the 9 hells. We are going to jump back in with Dianna discovering that her adorable wolf pup, although at this point he's more like a wolf adolescent dog, Joshua Patrick, is no longer at your side.
I mean, I try to call him first.
You call his name and you hear him bark and you turn, and this group of children that were sort of dancing and singing this weird kind of lullaby now have a dog with them dancing and sort of running around a little ring around the rosy as well.
Adorable.
I'd call him over to me.
He barks and then continues to dance. He's having, honest to God, the time of his life.
Well, it's not like him to not listen, so now I'm gonna go murder some children.
Cool vibe. Love that for us.
You have taken the one thing that brings me joy on Sunday nights.
God forbid it be this game and the camaraderie.
It's
and
part of this game. It's the little dog in this game who
Sure.
is the light
just
of my life.
muscling past the show we've been creating together to get to the fake dog that I created for you. Okay.
He kind of does carry, though, in fairness.
You are looking at a curious scene, Mel, as you walk up to scold either these children or your dog. Take your pick. Joshua
The children,
Patrick
I
is
already told you.
dancing in a circle with 5 or 6 kids, ranging from the ages of like 4 to 10. They are singing a fucked up children's song about like it sounds happy, but it's probably about like kids getting snuffed out by a collapsing avalanche, you know, in the same vein
Like
as
Ring
like,
Around the Rosie.
yeah, like all those messed up kids
Snuffed
songs.
out by a very angry ranger.
They are, however, dancing around the bound up figure of the flesh bat that you guys brought into camp with you, who attacked Arnold, I think it was 2 episodes ago, the subject of the dance battle. And Joshua Patrick is dancing and snapping at the little skeins of red thread that have sealed up the pieces of this flesh bat and is having, honest to God, the time of his life. And the flesh bat is sort of roped up, just sort of like bound, and is sort of wriggling around trying to escape. But the kids are pushing him back into the center and laughing as they do so.
I mean, I'm mad at. I'm just gonna be like, I just came for my dog. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Your dog joined us and is having a really good time, and we really like him, and it would be cool if he could stay just for a little bit because we like having.
Wouldn't that be cool? No.
Okay, well, he's your dog, so it's not like we give him treats or anything. Has anybody ever told you you're like really confrontational? Sorry, hang on. Let me slide that into a character voice.
Feature, not flaw.
Has anybody ever told you that you're like kind of a grumpy bean sometimes?
Feature, not flaw. Okay. The flesh bat, I remember from the dance, but what happened to him after all was said and do we know?
You and Josh Pat unraveled him. That was the end of the dance battle episode. And then you guys brought him, Arturi slung him onto the back of a horse and brought him into the encampment. And that was sort of the last time you guys checked in with him.
Right. Follow-up question. Well, no, I guess I can ask the kids this. What are you singing about?
Oh, it's a Vistani sort of fun song about a group of kids that was mauled by a bear. It's called Blood in the Sunshine.
That timeless classic. And is there a reason why you're dancing around this particular?
Oh, Miss Eliza told us to keep an eye on it. She said, "Don't let it go anywhere." And I was like, "You got it. I'll gather up the scoundrels that I band around with, and I'll keep it here." And this little girl who you're talking to sort of like clicks something at you really quick, Mel, just like in her hand. Not in like an aggressive way. She's not attacking you with anything. It's just like a little like a tick almost, or like a sharp gesture.
Like something you use to train a dog, like a clicker, or like
it sounds similar. It's got that same sort of like spring-loaded sort of like rasp to it, but it is not a pen and it is not a dog toy. Give me a perception check actually while we're talking about it. I will describe the person you're talking to. It is a short, pugnacious-looking girl with clearly who cut her own hair because it's sticking up in like bunches and like coiled springs all over the top of her head. She's wearing a striped shirt, and there are dirt smudges on her cheeks, forehead, hands, and bare feet. She's rad as hell, actually.
How can we see her bare feet? Did she show us her bare feet?
She's walking in bare feet, bro.
Yeah, but like this, like. Are the smudges on the top of her foot?
Yeah.
The way you said it, I imagined it like when they have like dirty ass feet and it's like on the bottom. So I imagine she's like, look how dirty my feet are.
Yeah, she did that and then she clicked something at Mel.
No, that kid's gonna die. I rolled a 20.
Wow. Okay.
You are dirty 20, but whatever.
It is a red implement that is hinged at one end. And when it clicks, something shiny falls out of it. Like it's really, really small, like a quarter to half an inch long, and falls to the dirt.
I think you dropped something.
No. It's just part of the toy Miss Eliza gave me. It happens all the time. I used to think that they were going to be like cool, like crossbow bolts or something, but then they just fall flat. But it's still a fun toy. Click, click, click.
Who's Miss Eliza? Do I know?
Miss Eliza, she's the she calls herself this, so it's okay if it's a bad word. But the big titty goth bitch that you guys are hanging out with over by the fire there, she's rad as heck.
Fact.
He's giving you a
correct
toy that. What exactly does it drop? I know it's not cool.
Well, it's this, and she bends down and picks up and like drops it in. She offers it to you if you want to hold your hand out, or she'll just show it to you if you don't. It is a small piece of folded steel. It appears. If it was unfolded, it would probably be about an inch long, but it seems to be folded on itself to sort of form like a clasp of some kind.
Like a staple.
That looks a little bit like a staple. Yeah.
I can't even begin to visualize it. Does this toy do anything besides the clicky clicky? Why do you have this?
Oh, it's like a
Yeah,
trap.
if you use it on this asshole and she turns around and snaps a piece of its flesh skin closed and it wriggles and screams, she says it does like the red twine that he's sewed up with, except like way cooler.
It's literally a stapler.
As you ask this, Mel, you turn. She is holding a red swing line stapler in one hand.
What the fuck?
Hey, she's got a stapler, a fantasy stapler.
It
Nope.
doesn't sound like it.
It is a red swing line with the Staples brand on the side of it. Stapler.
Cool.
Not a sponsor yet.
Not a
Cool.
sponsor yet. Staples, get at us. I'm
This
sure you've got
reeks-
money in the budget.
This
Yeah.
absolutely reeks of some sort of improv character Alex had us make, and then he was like, "Hey, Garion, what does he have?" And then I was just like, "A real life object," because that's what I
Right?
think
Like,
is funny.
Okay.
I could see that
So
happening.
listen, this little bat thing here caused like a
Fidget.
whole
We named him Fidget because he fidgets when you kick him.
From the
adorable.
movie.
I am actually horrible at naming things, so it's great that you guys came up with that off the cuff. Fidget is kind of an asshole between you and me. Is there a reason why you're stapling him back together?
Because he's filled with bugs on the inside, and bugs are gross. Just like boys
Great point.
and most girls.
Correct.
Are we not concerned about what he can do when he like, what is the plan for Fidget here?
Well, Miss Eliza told us to keep him still, and then later, or maybe like tomorrow at some point, I don't know, maybe when he's not drinking as much, Stanimir is going to take care of him. Stanimir takes care of everything. Maybe drop him off the falls or drown him or set him on fire. I don't know, whatever it is. I hope I get to watch. This kid is a fucking psychopath. I gotta pull my shit together.
Suddenly, I like this kid more.
I'm
than when
matching
I
Diana's
started
energy, and
out. I know.
I gotta like scooch
It's
the other way.
amazing.
I'm like,
I'm
fine, you don't
good.
want to handle the cute kid? I'll give you a kid that you'll vibe with.
I was gonna say,
This
but
kid
now I
has a
like the kid,
bloodlust.
and I'm here for that. Listen, Friday, Diana, you get once a week on Friday. That's the name. This is Sunday, Diana.
Do we
You
get
get-
do we get
do we
Sunday
get-
Diana multiple times a week?
we get Sunday Diana twice.
Would you like that? I mean,
No.
you wanna check in with me on like a Wednesday or like
Do we get? Would that not be Wednesday, Diana? That's my question.
I'm not sure. We've never played on a Wednesday. I'm not sure
Anyway.
what kind of energy Wednesday Diana would bring. Okay, so they're gonna staple the monster together because it's icky just to kill it later.
That's some kid shit.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole fuck ton of sense. Does the monster seem well secured at least?
It is quite well bound. Experienced as you are with knots and tying up monsters in the wilderness, you would know it is not going to escape its bounds just by bouncing around in where it is. Like whoever tied this thing up knew what they were doing.
Okay. The kids obviously aren't afraid of it. Is this the first time y'all have met Fidget?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I said that like I was gonna say other stuff, but then I just didn't.
You did. I was waiting for it. That's fine. You guys don't seem too worried about Fidget. I mean, he's like a giant asshole, and he created a lot of trouble for me and my friends there. Aren't you guys a little worried about what happens if you staple him all up?
If we what? When we do
Staple
what?
him all up?
Oh, is that what this thing is? We've just been calling it a toothy because it's
cool.
kind of got
stapler on the side.
That's fine.
Isn't it branded?
uh,
Can these guys also
Maybe
not
she
read?
can't read either.
Yeah, because being not able to read is a kid thing. Anyway, she says, "Oh no, we're not. I mean, we're not worried about it because we got the toothy thing that Miss Eliza gave us. Also, Stanimir's like kind of a monster sometimes and kills a lot of stuff in a good way. Like he has all of our best interests at heart. But no, because of this thing Miss Eliza gave us, we can just sort of like click, 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 staple him up. And as she does that, she sort of like staples a piece of his wing, and he yowls and writhes in pain. And she smiles big, and she's missing an incisor.
Cool.
Those are the main people.
Just last thing before I take my dog and let you guys get back to your song about blood and sunshine. That fucker over there by the fire says he's a werewolf. You know that guy?
Oh, Arturi? Yeah. Yeah, he comes every now and then. They always kick him out before dusk, though.
Is he a werewolf?
No idea. Maybe.
Cool.
Always kicked out before dusk. Oh, have you ever overheard why they kick him out at a certain time? I mean, you seem perceptive little children. I bet you listen and hear a lot more things than people give you credit for.
The idea of Mel being like, you seem like perceptive little children is the most like witch-like shit I've ever heard.
And I hear you have 101 Dalmatians.
But I'm not turning them into a code. I'm just taking your Dalmatians.
She says, oh, well, I mean, I did overhear Miss Eliza talking to Stanimir one time, and they were talking about he's like mad cursed.
Whoa.
Cool. You didn't
Stanimir
get any,
or
like,
Arturi?
Eliza was talking to Stanimir, right? Is
Yeah.
that what you just said?
Yeah.
About Arturi or whatever.
At the time, yeah. So Miss Eliza showed up like last night, 2 nights ago. I don't know. She was gone for a bit and then she came back. But yeah, she was talking to Stanimir and they were talking about Arturi. And then she said something about the road. And then Stanimir was like, why are you here? And she was like, why do I need a reason? And then she gave me this cool clicking toy. Click, click, click.
Real.
But they were talking about Arturi.
Sure were.
Okay. I think that's all I have to. I'm gonna take JP.
Okay. JP
You
goes
can
with you, but he
put
is
your
reluctant.
2B. I don't think JP would be reluctant to go with
Okay,
me.
you take JP and he's stoked as hell about it. Crossing back over to everybody else.
I want to head over toward everybody else
Okay.
for the record to like snag whichever one is closest and tell them.
I think that would probably be Garath in this huddle. I think Garath is the closest, like back and shoulders to you, or you can get in on the huddle, which would be a great image for me mentally.
Hilarious, but no, I'm feeling very obstinate tonight.
No way.
You guys couldn't tell? I'm so good at this. Maybe you don't want Wednesday, Diana, because that's not a therapy day, as we all know. That's the difference with Friday, Diana. I am going to say to Garrett, who I assume has just like popped his head up to
I'm the guy doing the
thing, and then this time when he pops
You're
down,
that.
I'm gonna pull him down a little bit more and just be like, "Hey, word on the street from those creepy little."
I'm in
You
this
almost said
sub-huddle.
creepy little shits. You came so
Real.
close to saying those creepy little shits.
I
Right,
love the
though.
idea of Mel and Gareth in a sub-huddle in this other huddle.
Yeah, it's our own more secret huddle.
Oh my guys, I gotta go to another huddle.
it's like your other like DM room. Okay, I'm word on the street from those adorable little kids over there with the creepy song is that Arturi is mad cursed.
Mad cursed. Okay, like a werewolfy-esque curse.
They did not specify, but I am also a little bit sus about the big titty goth woman who seems to
I joined their huddle. I joined that.
This whole time, Julian has been sitting in the middle of the huddle, crisscross applesauce, flipping through his book. He just looks up. Huh? Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, guys,
Sure.
I have an idea. It may or may not waste a question. How do we feel about it?
I have a working theory, so I'm good to waste a question.
Okay,
I'm
great.
not really
Hey, Arturi,
playing-
are you cursed?
Dang. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Arturi says,
Just Arturi, are you a werewolf?
we could have done this 9 questions ago.
Why did we think about this sooner?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Okay, Gareth. Arturi says, "Oh, thank you so much for asking. Yes, I am.
Elaborate.
Dr. Rudolf von Richten cursed me 2 years ago, I want to say, after my family sold his son into sort of a vampire's clutches, and he was turned into vampire spawn. And then Dr. Rudolf von Richten came back to claim revenge on my family and say, the undead take you as you have taken my son. And then whoop sauce applesauce. Whoops sauce applesauce.
And this was the same time you were turned into a werewolf.
No, that was later.
Okay. By the way, I only one of those was a question because I said the other two things as statements, and he just said yes or no. So fuck you.
All right, so we're at 4. We'll call it 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I get back in the huddle.
4?
Okay.
4.
Hey, Dianna,
Okay.
do you want to fucking chill?
I look up at the group and I say,
I do not.
I'm pretty convinced that he might probably be a werewolf. I have a few spells in my book that will help discern things. It will be a little bit, underhanded to do it, to figure it out this way, but if you guys think that is what we should do, I can maybe try something.
You know what?
We
How about
trust the
this? How about
accountant.
this? You guys all offered something of like this one thing that you have that has value. I offered money, and I hate to say I have a lot of it, so I'll just guess in worst case scenario we're out a few bucks. And he turns into a werewolf and kills us all. But we're already kind of prepared for that.
That also,
Anthony, hang on a second.
Why? Real quick, I just want to also now share to Julian. I don't know the details of the curse, but they usually try to kick him out before dusk.
Okay, so do I hear that as well?
No.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what. Okay, thank you. So
Did you want me to say that earlier, but I was too busy being obstinate?
no comments from me.
Anthony, please take it away.
I would be incredibly curious to know like how other people around the camp are treating Arturi in general. Like, do we notice any sort of suspicion or fear from anyone, or because obviously he's been here before and he's familiar with them, right?
Prior to the I am a werewolf announcement, or post?
Just like this whole time, yeah, like right now. Let's say right now.
You notice that he has been treated sort of with a cold shoulder. When
Okay.
you guys came out of the tent before Stanimir announced the sort of like rules of the story game, you saw Arturi try and like join a group of conversationalists, and they sort of like closed ranks around him and sort of like excluded him from the bubble. He didn't seem like shunned or bullied or anything like that, but there's definitely been like a not one of us sort of vibe.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he's been here long enough that the kids know him.
He
Well,
comes and goes
everybody
according
knows
to
that
the tree.
the Stanimir, this is Stanimir talking. I did not know if you knew
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Thank you. For a second, I thought it was God.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? How about that is a message actually to you from God through me, Stanimir.
I am a prophet.
Yeah, I am a prophet. And if you say one more word to interrupt Arnold the Bard, I will cut your head off of your shoulders. Okay, so hey, moving on. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Everybody knows that Arturi is tight with the kids. The kids love Arturi, mostly because they do not know that he and his entire family is cursed by a sort of monster hunting wizard.
Okay. So, I mean, I would ask, Arturi, since you seem to come here, I mean, people here know you, and they do say that I've heard that you usually leave before dusk. If you are a werewolf, do you mean are you going to try to hurt us?
That is a very good question. Probably one of the smartest you have asked so far. I do not know. I don't think so, because I, Arturi, the person, find most of these people delightful. However, I, as a horrible, bloodthirsty beast, might feel differently.
Well, that's going on. I want to say something to like Julian specifically.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is related or it's just something else I picked up because I kind of pissed off God. But apparently Madame Ava is like 300 years old and has some sort of weird connection with Strahd, the details of which I do not know, but perhaps you might know something.
Okay. Well, Madame Eva was a human, so being over 300 years old, quite unlikely. Quite unlikely.
Could just be a lie.
Could be a
Fire,
lie.
actually.
She is very old, but hey, I will take her at face value.
I'd like to imagine she's like 35 and that's just like
Right?
kids.
Right?
She's like,
She looks
she's
amazing.
300 years old.
But like
All
that's some
the-
kid shit, isn't it? Like kids are
Yeah,
like, oh, that
exactly.
bitch,
That
a
wasn't
million
kid
years
shit.
old.
That's what what's her fuck told me.
The kid.
Real.
No. I can never remember
Oh,
her name.
Irina.
The one who was
Irulan,
dropping
yeah.
Eves, who was saying
Irina.
that she
Yeah,
had
Irina.
some
No,
sort of
Irina did tell you that.
connection with Strahd.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if it means anything. Like I just figured I'd pass it on, and it just seems there's something
no,
more
it makes
nefarious
sense.
going on
There's
here.
what little see, we don't have many accounts of Barovia outside of it because not that many people leave alive or mentally well. Uh, the one account that I was able to read spoke about some dark forces, dark gods maybe that hold sway over the mists. If they are an entity that can be bargained with, maybe Madame Eva has something to do with them. I don't know. I'm kind of right now just thinking about ways to figure out if he's a where I have magical ways that I could figure out if he's a werewolf, but I don't really know if magic
I-
is breaching the social contract of the
I
game.
feel like-
Well, I think
well-
when there's a werewolf, the game sort of matters less because people might die. I also just think that somebody with a special connection with Strahd, who's 300 years old, I don't know that she would let a werewolf run rampant unless she was well aware I don't trust her.
Understandable. I need 8 hours of sleep, and then I'll be able to cast so much magic to figure everything out. I'm running
little
low.
Yeah.
Arnold, you look like you're about to say something before
No,
I
I-
guess.
Yeah, it's like I was just curious. Well, because so I want to say to him, I'm say like, okay, well, as far as I know, I'm no moonologist, but as far as I know, it's not a full moon.
Neither's Alex.
Is that a thing? A moonologist? Surely it's lunar, right?
Astrologist, maybe.
Fuck.
Yeah, astronomer is already a thing.
Astronomers. Yeah,
That
astronomers.
was the joke.
What if I died?
So,
Anthony, get me
but
out.
I say to him, as far as I know, I don't believe it's a full moon tonight, which means you wouldn't, if you were a werewolf, wouldn't compulsively turn to the beast, and you seem to not have any resentment toward us, or you don't want to. You claim to not want to hurt us, and so I don't think that we're in danger tonight. Then, at least if you're being honest.
Stanimir interrupts very quickly. And with a look of intense alarm, bordering on panic, he asks Arturi, have you encountered one of the Gravewalkers today? Outside, before you came to camp? And Arturi smiles wide and says, yes, I have. I met one earlier today. She was a lovely lady. We had lunch.
Okay. Question for you, Stanimir. Oh, wait, that's actually his name. Question for you, Stanley.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Gravewalker? Is it like a
Gravewalker.
zombie?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No. It is not the zombie. I forget
damn it.
regularly that your bing bongs are from somewhere else. How to explain? Okay. A long time ago, a sect of the Visani separated from us and became sort of
Evil.
monster hunters with a penchant for bloodlust, and also turning into monsters themselves so to better hunt monsters.
Fight fire with fire. I'm with it.
We call them Gravewalkers. They are called Gravewalkers. They wear a special insignia. It is a sort of it is a bat impaled by a sword.
Very badass, yeah.
It is badass. Yes, I agree. These Gravewalkers have the ability sometimes with the machinery that they possess to force changes. So if he has encountered a Gravewalker and they know that he is a werewolf, they will come looking for him, which means that he is a ticking time bomb.
Okay, you know what? I think if anybody objects anything, you better interrupt me soon, because I don't think we need those other 4 questions. And he gets up and points at Arturi. I think you are a werewolf.
All right, so above table, I didn't actually know if he was or wasn't until this exact moment.
You motherfucker. Where in the States do you live? Because I'm swimming and I'm throwing hanns.
And Arnold go, wait, no. Okay. What is your tattoo? Does the werewolf have a name?
These are the other 17 questions. Yo, give them to me rapid fire.
No, just does the werewolf have a name? Why didn't the silver freaking hurt you? That's the one I really want to know. Though I do want to know why the silver didn't hurt him if he is a werewolf. That's like especially what I want.
Maybe it did, and he just has a really high pain tolerance.
That's what I was thinking.
Arturi smiles sadly and says, it is true. I am afflicted with lycanthropy. It is not something that I am proud of. I thought it would be a fun sort of bit to the game. Yes, that silver coin that you put in my left hand hurt like an actual motherfucker. Did not love that, but most of my life has been spent in pain, so I was able to sort of pass it by. I did, yes,
Hey, Batman.
I did, yes, have an encounter with a grave walker earlier today, but I assume that you are going to kick me out of your encampment the same way you do every night before the dead can find me. So I will sort of deal with her on my own without any danger to you or your people. This has been a lovely time. I will take that makeup brush because you guessed. Oh, no, I guess I don't get to keep it because you guessed correctly. Well, in that case, enjoy the book by Dr. Rudolf von Richten. That dude sucks real bad. And Deuces Wild, you all have a lovely evening. Don't forget to
Great.
tip
Thank
your
you for
waiters.
playing. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. It was great meeting you. It's my turn now, right? He looks around at the group.
There's like an awkward silence, and Stanimir says, "Get out." And
What?
Arturi grabs his stuff and makes to leave.
Oh,
I
you're
will
talking,
rush up to him real quick and I'll just say, hey, before you go, do the Gravewalkers have an actual group name, or do they call themselves also the Gravewalkers?
They refer to themselves as the Gravewalkers. It is a little cringy, if you ask me, like calling yourself the nickname that somebody gave you in second grade. I don't know if they have an official name. They're a little bit secret. So you must be a member of their ranks to learn more. But hey, listen, if you encounter one, you can ask to be recruited, and then you can be the bookiest Gravewalker there is.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Asking from a purely intellectual standpoint.
I wouldn't have the ability to do it today, but if ever our paths cross again, I might be able to help you with your curse situation.
But
I'm
I
a
need a
cleric.
real long nap first.
I'm a cleric. I have some knowledge about the removal of curses. I am so incredibly magically depleted. I need at least 8 hours of sleep before I can be of any
So
use to
tired.
anyone.
Well, I hope you have a lovely, relaxful evening here. Without my presence, I think that it will be very, very safe. Madame Eva takes no bullshit, I think, as you might have guessed.
She scares
so-
me.
She should, frankly.
Is she over 300 years old, or is she just old?
She's old one. She's an old one. I am not sure what the exact number is. It would be impolite of me to ask.
She's an old one, all right, now.
Yeah, she's an old one.
All right.
However, I am going to go sleep down the valley where I can safely sort of run away from zombies and all of the other undead afflictions that are going to chase me. This book, and he points to the manuscript of Dr. Rudolf von Richten. It is actually quite important to me. So if you do not mind, perhaps if we do cross paths later, I would love to buy it back from you.
Okay.
By the way, I'm the one who made the guess, so that is technically mine.
Okay,
Lovely.
Gareth, you get to you grab the book and you take it.
I said, well, it is Garion's book, so he will demand so much money that he does not intend to pay the taxes on.
It's so funny that Gareth is like, that book is mine.
And he
please."
cannot read.
No idea what it says. He just knows. I think what it is he can't read, but he knows it's important to somebody else and therefore valuable.
It's not
Later in the
necessarily
night.
it's not necessarily that he knows it belongs to somebody else, but it's the fact that he won it.
Yep.
I spend the entire night just going, Gareth, please let me read the book. Please let me read the book. It's
You
just
can
the
read
one
it,
thing
but
I
only
do.
from over here. Just tell me
Please.
when to turn the page.
No, please.
All right. Arturi grabs his bag and walks out of the camp. And Stanimir takes a big swig from his bottle and says, good riddance.
Hey,
Fully
Stan.
ruined our game.
Well, back
I-
to it then, because I am on to you, Stanley.
I thought it was a great game. Standemir, what's your plan for the little bat thing?
I was going to soak him in this liquor a little bit later and set him on fire.
Okay.
Gareth is like bursting at the seams with like a story. He's
Mel
like,
notices, and she's just like over it, and that's why she keeps trying to get away from the games and the stories. don't know how
Standemir puts a
successful she'll
gentle
be,
mouth
but-
hand out and just like hovers over Mel's lips without touching her. And then says, "You there, sir. You have a story to tell."
yes,
Silence and
because quite
women.
frankly, and I mean this with as little disrespect as possible, I don't trust you as a fair judge of this game because I think I was correct earlier, and you just chose to say I was wrong.
Correct with what? State,
You're-
I have forgotten things in the wake of the sort of wolf threat. Boy, that one didn't
You
come out
know,
of my
the
mouth at
story
all.
that you told last episode that we all remember.
I remember so well. But
Okay,
let's pretend like
above,
for anyone who doesn't remember, not me, but for like anybody else here who might not remember, maybe you could just fill us in, Bestie.
above table, I do remember. I think he was lying, and I called him on it, and I think he then said, "Nope, it was true," and I think that was bullshit. Which is
Okay.
What
Oh, he said the story of he told the story about how the Vistani came into the good graces of Strahd.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
that I
I
totally
basically- I
remember. But
I
if
accuse him of
didn't-
bullshit, and I propose I have another story to test his truthfulness, basically, or whatever.
All right. So he says, I was not telling a lie. Excellent liar though I might be, I was telling every stitch of the truth. So why don't you explain why you think I was lying, and I can make you look like a fool for it.
Why don't we do this instead? I'm going to tell one last story, and you tell me for sure, for all the marbles, if I am lying or not, and then I will believe your truthfulness as a judge.
Sorry, just to make it clear, you were dissatisfied with the first story you told because it was a little you were dissatisfied with the first story you told, and so now you just wish to tell a second story. You do not have to trap it up as if it is sort of, all right, yeah, go for it.
No, I do, because, and I'll let you in on this, Stanley. We're making this for content on the thing called YouTube. You don't know about podcasts yet, but this is gonna blow your mind.
All right. Tell your story. I will guess if it is true or false. Just you and me, and let us play for this. Let us play for that dork's book and my ex-wife's pack of Taroka cards.
The book that I just won, yes?
Yes.
Okay, but part of this deal, my accountant gets to read the book while I tell the story.
Fine.
Yes.
I
Yes.
hand Julian the book as I start.
I do a little dance. I do my new book dance.
In my head, I see it similar to how Mel stealths around, which is put your whole weight on your tiptoes and sort of ballet dance around.
It's very effective.
I twirl 3 times exactly, then cross-legged, and I start reading.
Okay,
Well,
Stanley.
AP twirls 3 times exactly before he says.
Stanley, I'm going to weave you a tale of when me and my companions were fighting a beholder outside of the vault underneath Waterdeep City.
Okay.
This beholder we had met many times upon our travels, and we had gained its trust and abused its trust to the point where it had hated us with every fiber of its being. And as it came into the vault room just before we were about to gain our riches, it opened fire with everything it had at us. It was attacking all 3 of us, left and right. Our accountant wasn't there yet. It was someone else. But it doesn't.
Stand-in.
It was just another person. And during this fight, well, damn it, I tried my best, and I was fighting for everything I had, for my friends, for arguably more importantly, billions and billions of dollars. And the beholder looked me in the eyes. It flung some sort of evil black goo at me, and I died.
That is it. That is the end of the story.
That's
You
the
died?
story. That is the story of my death.
All right, I'm gonna roll an insight check. Gareth, you're gonna roll a deception check.
Do I need to roll a
All right.
deception check if I'm telling the truth?
Make it performance.
I would rather roll deception.
Tough. You argued for the lower number, my man.
Oh, fuck. Okay, my perception isn't that bad.
I rolled a 15 for insight.
I rolled a 14 plus 2 is 16.
Okay.
Because we are the champions.
All right. I love this dramatic fucking moment happening over Julian while he frantically pores over this menu.
Yeah, he just...
Okay. Stanimir says, I think it is true, but it cannot be true because you wouldn't, if I say it clearly, you are not dead, you are standing in front of me, so the story must be true. But if I tell it, but you would have known that I would see you standing in front of me, so you would know that I would guess true, so you would make it false. But if it is false, you would know that I would think it was false, so then you would think that I would guess false after having assuming that I would guess true. So I will say false. I think that is no way.
Well, my friend, here comes the climax because that story is true, but how are you going to prove it?
Well, I said it was false. I have lost the game.
Yes, correct. And this is kind of where I expected you to challenge me on this, and we have some sort of proof of your truth-saying ability.
You want me to prove that you are dead?
My point to you is that there is no basis on this game except for your whim. This game is rigged from the start because if you decide that one of us is wrong, then we are wrong. And how can we gamble on something that you choose who wins? It is not luck we are gambling on, it is your mood.
Like playing with me.
The only difference with her is instead of losing that book, we die. I'm playing with much higher stakes with her. This is like child's play for me.
He smiles wide and says, congratulations, my friend. You have passed the test. You have learned who I am as a person. Yes, I am dishonest. Yes, I enjoy games that are rigged in my favor. Yes, I enjoy taking things from people I have met merely moments ago. Now, the fact that you have won my ex-wife's deck of Taroka cards is fair play to you. You get to keep them. Enjoy the terrible luck imbued in that stack of paper. I assure you, it will not bring you any joy whatsoever if there's any inclination as to what has happened to me. But yes, I do quite like being a cheat, a lie, a scoundrel, and a thief.
You know what brings me joy, Stanley? And I think I want to whisper this to him so only he can hear it.
Okay.
I enjoy lying, cheating, and deceiving just as much as you, and I know for a fact the thing that we hate most is admitting it.
Welcome, everybody, to the end of our episode. We are going to stop here. We're going to jump into a merch moment, which is the way we end all of our episodes now, whether you like it or not. Please don't scroll away. We'd love to tell you about...
Wait.
Whoa. I know you're
My
anxious
family.
to get... I know you're anxious to get to that next video, but we want to talk to you about our newest art collab that we have with somebody in our merch program. Her name is Haley. She has designed a t-shirt just for us, which I believe Bestie has on hand.
I do have it on hand.
Dramatic reveal.
Drum roll, please.
Dramatic reveal.
There it is.
So badass.
This is our first artist collaboration. We have people that we are working with who are indie artists who are so badass. I'm going to put Haley's username and information on the screen here. These people are designing art for our show that they are coming up with and drawing for us, which is so incredible. So please go check out Haley's work, support them as an artist. If they have prints available, buy one, support them with your wallet, and also go to our merch store and maybe check out her shirt, which she has designed for us. That is the symbol of the Grave Walkers, which are the sect of Vistani that are dedicating themselves to monster hunters that we learned about this episode. I'm very excited about these Grave Walkers and their sort of role that they're going to play in this campaign. I think it's super cool. Just as cool, if not cooler, than the shirt that Haley designed for them, which is, again, super badass. You can find that on our Etsy shop. That's etsy.com/shop/critically shop. And
yeah. That's all right.
Yes, Gary?
I have a question for you.
Please.
How could future artists get in contact with you to perhaps get some of their art printed on shirts?
They can hit us up on Twitter. They can DM us at CritStupid and say, "Hey, I'm an artist who's looking for a paid commission. I'd love to make some money with you." And I would say that's fantastic. Let's work together. That's at CritStupid on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram, I think is also our handle.
We do have one of those, and it's active.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next week for our new episode. Bye.
I just like, okay, look, I like corn and my potatoes. That's it. I like corn and my potatoes. I grew up that way. Just corn and
Brave.
potatoes.
All right.
Brave. I
Yeah.
respect it.
You know what I really like that, like personally, even though everyone else is not gonna like it. I like zucchini with my potatoes.
We should
Like,
fight.
I like
Oh,
I like
on them?
no, like,
Like
well,
roast-
I like
like
it together. Yeah, like I like a roasted like garlic zucchini. I
Oh, I like garlic
it's-
zucchini,
it's
but like
good.
not
And I
in
no, I
my
wouldn't, like,
potato.
yeah, I mean, I'd eat it together, like bite.
You know what? We're being
a
brave. We're
side,
being
maybe.
adventurous. I
I,
kind of
uh,
love to see it.